Hey guys, it's Pat from Pat's Brewery, and we're going to be doing a little bit of science today. So, yep, it's been a couple of weeks since the last video, and apologies, life has kind of got in the way. I think in the last video I mentioned about the Shed Brewers Festival that is hosted by or ran by the Anglian Craft Brewers, hosted at the Victoria in Colchester. Well, that's been and gone, and it was an amazing day. So thank you to all of the brewers that got involved and all of the people that turned up and supported the charity that was being supported, and everyone that drank the beer. It was an absolutely awesome day. There wasn't a bad beer among the lot. Most of the beer got drunk. I may have had a couple myself. The actual voting came in as well of the best beer, and I'll give it a shout out. It was the Flor de Jamaica, which was brewed by John. Can't remember John's surname, sorry John, but that was a hibiscus wheat beer, and it was great. It was, and I think John said this to me, he said that he seems to like making beers that don't taste like beers, or beers for non-beer drinkers. And I kind of go, yeah. I think I've said in the past, my wife does not like beer, but she would have liked that, and it was just top-notch stuff. So I'll do a couple other mentions, because there was a couple that were just above and beyond. So I'll call out Tony done a New England IPA, Keep the Lights On. That was great. Dean was the first cask to empty, and he done a wheat beer. It was kind of a take on a Blue Moon. That's it. His was called Blue Ridge Mountain. Yeah, it was a take on Blue Moon. That was excellent. Really enjoyed that one as well. I can't all of them were good, but we had a real great selection of them. We had a couple of milds, which, you know what, mild isn't a drink that I know, or a style that I normally go to, but it's an underappreciated style. So maybe that's something for next year. We had an alt beer. I've done an alt beer a good couple of years ago, and you go again, another style that people don't tend to really do. Had some stouts, had ESB. It was all good. I mean, I'll do a brief chat on my beer of how I think it could have gone better. No, it went down well. All got drunk, but really, I'd done my lager, and the thing is, the first, I'd say, good quarter of the keg wasn't exactly crystal clear. Now, it was clear when it left my house, and I'm not knocking the delivery. Dean gave a good drop off of my beer. It's just a case of, obviously, there must have been still some sediment in there in the drive over. It's picked up, and then obviously because it's a standard keg, it's picked it up as it's flowed through. It's not settled out. Now, I think if I was going to do a keg again and looking for a clear beer, maybe I need to look to invest in and I've got a load of glasses out, but I should probably have a drink. Right, I'm going to be doing other drinks as well, but just while I'm talking. Yeah, so if I was going to do it again, I might look to invest in getting a keg with a floating ball valve, a floating dip tube. Just that way I'd be pulling from the top, and then anything that was settling down, you know, you wouldn't have to then drain that out through the first few pints. Now I'm going to do a half on this while I talk about what else we're going to be doing, because this is the same lager again, but again rebrewed. Previously I'd done a double batch to get 2 kegs worth. This was a single batch, and my efficiencies were a little bit off. So I think, yeah, I was 4.5% from the festival beer. This is only sitting at 4, so slightly different, but still pretty nice. I mean, a little bit more conditioning is needed, but by August that'll be absolutely spot on. So what are we doing? We have 5 glasses here, and that is because we're going to be doing a little bit of experimentation with regards to the next beer that I brewed. Obviously I've not done a brew day video for this, and I'm not going to, because we've already done it a couple of times. So the next beer that I brewed is a strawberry sour. Now, I think I've said in the past that my wife seems to like sour beers. I like sour beers, so I wanted to have a sour beer in keg, and I'd never done it before. I got recommended to just do use Philly sour yeast. Does all of the hard work for you, and I'd say yes, that is definitely the case. But I tried it, and it's not quite as sour as I would have expected. And also, and coming on to the next piece that isn't great. So it's a strawberry sour, and funny enough, I had been warned that strawberries don't transfer flavour that well. You know, you need a lot of them. Now, I did use an absolute ton of strawberries. I actually bought out Asda's a whole stock of frozen strawberries. I ended up putting in about 4 kilos into a standard single batch. And to be fair, I'll sure I've got a picture somewhere, but you know, it looked the part with regards to the colour, but I don't think the strawberry is quite there. It's close, but it's not quite there. So one of the things that I have read people doing is using strawberry flavouring essence or extract, or whatever terminology people want to use. So I have purchased some strawberry essence, which would normally be used in baking, to potentially be added to the keg. Now, I went on Google. I know, Google is not the fountain of perfect knowledge, but it's got some good stuff on there. And Google was saying that for a batch size of approximately 23 litres, you want 4 ounces. Now, ounces to grams, or ounces to litres and millilitres and all that. Basically, one of these, which is 28 millilitres, is an ounce, if I remember the conversion properly. So they would say that effectively for a single batch, all of this needs to go in. Now, what it did not state is whether or not that was the only strawberry flavouring that they were adding. So it's not actually that useful. But what I thought I could do is see how much of this stuff needs to be put into a glass for it to be judged up with regards to strawberry flavouring. I've done some rough maths. Now, hopefully no one's going to check my calculations, but it's a 19 litre keg, right? It's not full. I've probably pulled at least 1 pint off of it already. So let's say it's 18, say there's 18 litres in there, right? Now you never get everything out of these things, and it says there's 28. So if we say there's 25 in each of these, so 100 litre total, no, 100 millilitre total, right? So there would be 18,000 millilitres in the keg, right? You convert it all down, and for every 180 millilitres of beer would be 1 millilitre of this if we put it all in, okay? So what we're going to do is I've got a pipette that goes up to 1 millilitre, and we're going to put 180 millilitres into each of these and have one as a sample, and we're going to go and put in 0.25 mil, 5 mil, 3 mil, and basically see, am I adding an entire, just 1, 2, 3 or 4? That's the idea. That's the idea behind all this. So let's get a sample of this beer first. Let's also turn the lights on. Clean that. Anyway, right. Dial that back. Now, in the fermenter, this was super red. It seems to have died back down to being a little bit more pinkish. Or peachy even. Now, I've just realised I made a crucial mistake in that I haven't weighed out how much this is coming in at. That's clearly not a flat surface. Right, so standard glass is 184. So if we reset that, put that there. Right, that's 160. $186. So $174. Obviously, my sips are bigger than I thought. So what we're going to do, we're going to pour each of these up to there, and then we'll do our test. Right. So I'm just going to get a second sample, and then we still need to talk about that as its base. There we go, let's just do one more check. 183, perfect. Right, so these are the ones that we are going to dose. So regards to the aroma. You are getting strawberry and a little bit of berry. So with regards to, because I haven't said anything about the recipe, it was a pretty basic recipe. I can't recall, but we used Challenger for a little bit of bittering, and we used Vic's Secret as a bit of flavouring hops, so a bit of flame out. I think we used about 30 grams, because obviously the main piece of this was obviously the strawberries and the sourness. Now with regards to sourness, yeah, it's there, but it's not puckering. It's nothing too, oh my god, you know. So yeah, I'm just a little bit not super impressed with regards to the it's okay, but it needs more. Now whether or not I should have, so all of the videos that I've seen with regards to using Philly Sour, no one had done anything different with regards to their pH of their mash, whereas actually I think in all of the traditional souring videos that I've watched, obviously you've got to create the sour environment. So maybe if I was going to do this again, I probably will, maybe it's a case of adding in some of that, it's the good bacteria stuff that people add in. There's a whole advert for it. Anyway, I've seen a load of videos where they go, oh, add in your good healthy yogurts with your good bacterias in there, and it'll do what it needs to get that souring. But yeah, I need to look into it more to see should I have done more with regards to this. But as far as the actual sourness, it's not that much. So as I say, we're going to do 1/4 mil, 1/2 mil, 1/3 and a full mil, which we luckily have marked up on our pipette. There we go. Well, that's not very useful, is it? Right. That is a third, no, a 1/4. Okay. There's a 1/2. ¾ and this is a full mil. Let's give that a little bit of stir. I mean, a little bit unfair to say anything because I've just had this open. And there's a lot, I mean, it's artificial strawberry with regards to it, but you can tell. So, right, we're going to cycle through. So, base. Yeah, okay. I mean, there might be something, but I mean, if anything, it's actually, for some reason, that's tasting a little bit more sour than that one, which adding strawberry flavouring shouldn't change the sour aspect, but okay. Not particularly noticeable, of any change. Right. Right. Next up is 1/2 ml. Maybe there's a difference, but not. Now, something to take into account though is that this is obviously an oil based. I'm guessing it. I say obviously. I'm assuming it's. So how bad my eyesight is. If we take this, it's like an oil. That will have a large impact on anything like head retention, which obviously sours don't tend to have that much head retention anyway, but something to take into account. But also you've got to be aware of any change in mouthfeel. I mean, I am actually now detecting a slight difference. So this is the 1/3 of a ml to 180. Yeah, I mean, I'm now detecting a slight difference in what I'd say perceptible strawberry, you know, compared to there. You know, it's not. Yeah, compared to that, you can get strawberry. Okay, right. Last one. Excuse. Hang on. Palette cleansing. So can I tell the difference? No, I can't. I mean, it'd be a lovely idea if I could tell the difference. You know, if this strawberry extract, or not extract, essence, excuse me, was so potent that that I could tell, but I mean, base to that, yeah, there is a difference, you know. I must look like a right nutter to people, but so I watched a video ages ago about if you want to engage your nose more, right, you're meant to breathe in with your mouth open, that way there's air circulation. So if I look like a plonker, that's why. I mean, okay, yeah. I think I can, it's got to be one of these two because it's just not a significant change. In these, there's such a small amount that no one's going to notice. Or maybe that's the point. Maybe I just say, screw it. This is what I brewed. Let's not try and tweak it and just let it go. I mean, it's a lovely little peachy colour. Right. She won't want to. She won't want to test them. But I was going to say, final decision could come from the wife. See which one she likes the most, but I won't get her on camera, and she'll also probably say, I don't know, you choose. You're the one with better taste. What do you guys think? I'm not in a rush to add anything, so I could leave it week, 2 weeks, however long really, and it wouldn't matter necessarily. I don't think that you know, obviously it needs to mix properly. How much do you reckon I should add? I'm leaning towards 3. I mean, to be fair, you don't want to pick up a pint and go, that's artificial strawberry. So maybe less is more, maybe it is just go with it. I don't know. See, I came out here thinking, right, what we're going to do is we're going to do this, and we're going to know from the end of this video what we're going to do, and I just don't. I mean, I don't know what I was expecting with regards to what would happen by adding in the strawberry essence. I mean, just out of curiosity, and obviously my measurements are going to be all off now. Now this is, so it's already got, or had a mil distributed in it. If we added another mil, obviously there's a significant amount less, but let's weigh out how much is there. I'll work it all out afterwards. So that weighs 226. Right, I'm not going to use this one anymore. Right, so that weighs 226. There we go. Right. This is a, right. So now we have a total of 38 grams or milliliters of liquid, which has already had 1 milliliter distributed amongst it in the full amount. I'm talking this out loud so I can actually do the maths later. I'm just going to see if this has a significant impact on the flavour. If this doesn't, then I think I'd actually lean more towards, well, if that amount doesn't have an impact, then it's all in my head and we just do the regular beer, no changes. Okay, no, that smells much stronger with regards to that. So 28 ml plus 1 ml plus a small amount across it. So about 1 ml to every 28. I'd have to buy so many of those. This isn't even, it's not a viable option. Okay, I mean, that's also a big mistake, because although you can smell the strawberry on the nose and you get more of it in the taste, instantly this has almost become oily. So that was an error in judgment. But we learn. So I don't know. See, earlier I think I said 3. Now I'm thinking dropping down to 2. Because there was an increase in a little bit of the aroma. Right, not going to rush into anything. Let's put it out there and allow people watching to say what you think. 1, 2 or 3 bottles of strawberry essence, or 0. 0 is an option. It might be the best option. You guys let me know what you think. Until next time, Pat from Pat's Brewery. Cheers.